Andre Onana on the verge of joining Manchester United after positive talks today, and Manchester United's final bid will soon arrive, and they're confident that it will get accepted. Moises Caicedo to Chelsea in doubt after Brighton set their fee of 100 million based on the Declan Rice deal, according to those who are closely reporting at Brighton and Hove Albion. But Chelsea still feel confident of getting a deal struck at set between 70 to 80 million. Kyle Walker off to Bayern Munich, and so much more in this Tereak Talking Transfer show. Wagwan, everyone. I hope you're doing well, and welcome back to another stream, the second one of the day. And if you haven't seen it, guys, if you're Arsenal fans, go check it out. We broke the news. Well, we didn't break the news. The news was broken earlier. But my reaction to William Saliba signing his new 4-year contract here tonight. We're here to talk about the transfer news that has been breaking in the past couple of days, really, because I didn't do one yesterday. I was on a stream on another channel last night, but I am back here with you guys. We're going to be chopping it up with all the other clubs. No Arsenal here. We've put that to the side. It's going to be a very Manchester United heavy show because of all the news breaking out of there. And as you can see in the title and on the thumbnail, Onana on the verge of joining Manchester United. Personal terms have already been agreed, and I've got my notes here, so I've got them written down. It is really close. After positive talks today, a final bid will soon arrive and will soon be at the hands of Inter Milan. But Manchester United are very confident of getting that accepted. It will most likely be closer to the valuation that Inter Milan want, which originally was 60 million euros, but it might even be around the 50 million pound region. We'll soon find out. And also, when you look at it right there, is personal terms have already been agreed. This has come from Fabrizio Romano. Indeed, this signing for Manchester United will be huge. But before we talk about a potential Manchester United goalkeeper in the future, we have to talk about one in the past, and this goes out to prayers to Edwin van der Sar and his family. The horrific news came out earlier on today, which broke about a couple of hours ago, which I saw on Twitter. But yeah, the former Manchester United and Ajax goalkeeper Edwin van der Sar is being treated in intensive care after suffering a bleeding on his brain at the age of 52 as well. He's being treated in Croatia, in a hospital there, where he has been on holiday. Ajax said the former Netherlands international, who won 130 caps for his country, is in a stable condition. But more updates will follow on that there. But right now, what we can do as a TTF, and we got plenty of Man United fans who would have grown up and would have seen this guy in goal, winning the Champions League, Premier Leagues, breaking records. Of course, I remember that's one that sticks out in mind when I think of Edwin van der Sar, for the record of no goals conceded, the longest in minutes without conceding a goal. But at the age of 52, so young, and another lesson to us all in life. You never know what's going to happen around the corner. He just, resigned from his role at Ajax this summer, so he was looking forward to another chapter in his life. So this is, sad news, unfortunately, but let's send our prayers out for a speedy recovery indeed for Edwin van der Sar. But yeah, back on to a future Manchester United goalkeeper, Andre Onana. This will be a huge signing for the club, in my opinion. Man, you guys know my thoughts who have been here for a long time, but if you haven't and you are new to the channel, thank you. And thank you for subscribing, and thank you for clicking on this video here right now, or the stream if you're watching live. David De Gea had to go, and it was a long time coming for me. A long time coming, just way past this, where the game is going now in terms of the style, what you need from your goalkeeper. Completely outdated for me. Even lost his ability as a traditional goalkeeper in my mind. But Andre Onana is the most modern day goalkeeper there is. So it's crazy. You're going from one opposite end to the spectrum to the other. He's a character. as well. I've heard him speak, and he speaks very good English too. Probably growing up in being a part of the Ajax team in the Netherlands, they do get to learn English well. They're better than most people, Harry Kane. But yeah, no, Andre Onana, what for me, I think this is a monumental signing, and this will be that Manchester United's transformational signing this summer. It's a complete contrast in styles, but this is a lot more like what the Eric Ten Hag that Manchester United fans were so optimistic about getting in last season, and this will be much more likened to his style, the style that got him so famous at Manchester United for what he did at Ajax and taking them into the semi-finals of the Champions League with a very good team, Onana at the helm of it at the back. And the reason being, and the reason why I'll say this for Manchester United fans, why this is so good as a modern day goalkeeper is not just his ball playing ability, which is arguably the best in the world in terms of his confidence. He can dribble, how he plays out of the back, the confidence that he has, and how composed he is. It will get the hearts of a lot of Man United fans racing. And I don't think you'll ever really get used to that, because whenever I don't do it, and with Ramsdale out of the back, I still get nervous the exact same way, just like his father does. But Andre Onana, he will leave you on the edge of your seat, but he's irresistible to watch, and he will get you guys enjoying games, and you'll never switch off for a moment watching with him playing out the back. But the main reason why a modern day goalkeeper, why he is classed as that, is also his sweeping ability in terms of how raising the line of Manchester United's defense. And with the signing of Mason Mount, you're looking like Manchester United are going to be playing with two attacking midfielders in that role, with Casemiro having that single role of marshalling the defense, and shielding that back line. So I mean, and what I was meant to say, sorry, and pushing the likes of Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes up high with the wingers. And if they do bring another striker, we'll talk about that later on. He will help increase that line and force the opposition back. And when there is a turnover, you can press them really high. And if they try and play a long ball, Onana will come out and sweep out the back and probably do about 4 or 5 kick-ups whilst he's there. But no, a tremendous goalkeeper. And that is with his ball playing. You've seen a lot of that in the compilations already. His sweeper keeping ability and the knock-on effect that will have to everyone else in a positive sense. You'll be seeing the likes of Lisandro Martinez at his best, because Lisandro Martinez, the style of defender that he is a very front foot, aggressive defender, which Manchester United paid a lot of money to get him in. And if you're really going to get the best out of him, it's as high up the pitch as possible, whether that's in possession or out of possession. Being a front-footed defender is always going to be trying to be aggressive, trying to stop the ball getting into the striker's feet at the very first opportunity, which will leave, of course, space in behind. But if he's got a goalkeeper like Onana that he can trust, he won't be having his lack of athleticism in terms of speed won't be an issue, because Onana's speed off of his line and his positioning is excellent. So that closes off that option there, and has his concentration when out of possession is phenomenal too. This is a real top goalkeeper who was linked to Arsenal, so I am very well versed in him, of course, and been keeping a close eye on him, because for one, he's just entertaining to watch whilst he's at Inter Milan. And with his time at Inter Milan, if you listen to people who are very massive Serie A fans, feel a bit indifferent about him, because him and Samir Handanovic, he wasn't a starter to begin with, and he had made a couple of clangers, which happens for goalkeepers. It's nothing out of the ordinary, especially when you take as many risks as Andre Onana. But with Samir Handanovic, that's a goalkeeper that's embedded into Milan for, he's been there for a while now. Someone that you're trying to break through there is a top quality goalkeeper who is approaching towards the end of his career. But Andre Onana had a very strong end to the season for Inter Milan, and that was typified, and everyone saw how well he did in that Champions League final against Manchester City, in and out of possession, up against a Pep Guardiola side who is very well structured and organized, and they know how to press. He was untouchable, and you heard Pep Guardiola speak highly of him, and he loads of praise on his ability of playing out the back. And you saw top goal, it's traditional goalkeeping saves as well. He's a brilliant shot stopper with tremendous reflexes. I really do rate this guy, Andre Onana, and I think he's going to change Manchester United. And I've said this on other channels. I think Manchester United will finish in the top four with a signing like Andre Onana. I'm quite confident of that, because when you look at the rivals around them, we'll talk about Chelsea, but Chelsea fans were very keen on Andre Onana and trying to get him in to replace Kepa Arrizabalaga. Chelsea didn't see that, well, from hearing from reports, that he was worth the money that Inter Milan are asking for. But for me, when you've got a goal, if you've got an issue with your goalkeeper and you don't have that trust or that stability from your goalkeeper, they're worth their weight in gold. They will cap your ceiling, and your floor will be even lower. You've seen this with Manchester United. It's unfortunately, I mean, look, Man United had a top defense, and Erik ten Hag set them out in his first season, struck as a team, organized very well in most games. But when De Gea had clangers, which he had more clangers and more bad games last season than he did good, cost them heavily. 7-0 defeat at Liverpool, the knock-on effect that has, Liverpool being able to press you into an oblivion after a bit, and then after the first half, really, the shakiness, the mistakes, the shots that should never be going in. You saw the loss of confidence in David De Gea and Erik ten Hag. And Paxton says it here, and I've not even big everyone up in the chat yet. Big up yourselves each and every time. In Erik ten Hag, we trust. And from a Man United fan, I've got a pile of huge praise for how he handled the David De Gea situation as a manager, not how the club. That's different. How the club offered him a contract and taking it away, but how he spoke about David De Gea in his time there. He always backed him. He always praised him. He didn't throw him under the bus, not like how you would have seen a Jose Mourinho do or anyone else. But he stuck with him. He was his number one goalkeeper at the time. He knew in the back of his mind he wanted better, and he knew that he needed better, and he needed, when I say better, someone more suitable to his philosophy. But he didn't make that public. He didn't, because he would have put Man United in an even stickier position, I guess. And David De Gea, losing faith out of his number one goalkeeper, and then that's a big name in the dressing room as well. He stuck with him. He praised him, but eventually, and the proof was in the pudding. Actions always speak louder than words. And now he's looking to replace David De Gea with Andre Onana, who is much more much more climatized to the Erik ten Hag style. And I think this will be a transformational signing for Manchester United, the biggest signing that they can make this transfer window. No matter who else they bring, this is going to be the biggest, in my opinion, unless Mbappe was brought in, of course. But no, realistically, this is going to be the signing that might. And the doubters, I just really can't see it. Why there's people that are doubting this guy. The only way that I can think why people doubt is because he's out of the ordinary. He's unorthodox. He's not, your traditional goalkeeper that we're accustomed to for many years. But I think by now, as fans, we should be used to modern day goalkeepers coming out, playing out the back, taking risks on a regular basis. Alisson does so for Liverpool. Ederson does it almost every game. And you see with Addison and Ederson how vital they are into their team in defense and attack just as much. You think of a goalkeeper, just, their main job is to make sure that ball doesn't go in the back of the net, but they're also a massive weapon in creating attacks when you are coming up against teams that are willing to press you, like a Liverpool, like a Manchester City will, like Arsenal will this season. Away from home in particular, Manchester United, when the crowd's against them and the tide of momentum shifted, you need your goalkeeper to be ice cold, have that ice in his veins to pick out that pass, bypass that press, and then get you turned on the counter attack. And we already know how devastating Manchester United can be on the counter attack with the likes of Rashford when he's on form and firing. Bruno when he's got space. Mason Mount is perfect in those scenarios, and that's when we've seen the best of him, when there is space to attack into behind and he's got space to run and carry up the pitch. And then if you're able to bring in Hojlund, which we'll talk about, player with explosive speed, as someone who's going to be direct running into the box. This is a perfect signing for Manchester United and will help them in their home form as well as away form. At home, you'll be able to dominate teams with much more possession, keep your defense up as high up the pitch, and your whole team squeezing as much as possible. This is a no-brainer in my eyes for Manchester United. I want to hear your thoughts before we move on into the next signing. Big up each and every one of you that is here watching live in the chat right now. I'm going to bit and say hello to you all. Thank you for tuning in. Smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Second stream of the day, but I hope you're enjoying it already, guys. Big up my brother, the Manja Kushana Santi in the building, says Tereak putting in work. Big up my bro. Don't forget to smash the like button on the way in, folks. Listen to him right there. Big up my bro Shay. He says, Yo T, you're a legend. Listen to Shay too saying smash the like button. Really appreciate you, Shay. Pax saying on time. I know, Pax. I am on time. Indeed. I told you I'm a different man. Nah, for this week, miracles can happen. Ivan Tony in the building. Hope you're keeping good, as well as this Japanese lad as backup. Yes, I have seen that from Uara Uara. Sorry, can't pronounce it. But yes, the name has gone past me. But Japanese, he's got Ghanaian descent as well. Hey, modern day goalkeepers. To be honest, with a backup goalkeeper, I don't really think you need a top one unless you've got an injury prone. Unless your goalkeeper is injury prone, which Onana isn't. I think you'll be fine. I think you'll be fine. In the competitions that you're in, you'd not really be playing a backup goalkeeper in the Champions League, in the Premier League, maybe in the Cups. That's it. But yeah, even when you get deeper into those Cups, I'm sure Onana will be straight into that side. Is he a good actual keeper? Discuss. Definitely. And this is the thing. Do you know maybe another reason why people aren't a massive fan of Onana? And I think this is, I'm not saying you, of course, here, Ed, but I think there is a little bit of a tinge of, some stereotyping with black goalkeepers too, because black goalkeepers generally tend to get labeled as not the smartest, or they always have a clanger in them. They're a bit different. These are things that, because we generally don't see black goalkeepers in goal. I know it's a pretty very controversial topic, but I think there is definitely a factor in that, because it's not something that we're not used to seeing anymore. What, Edouard Mendy was the last one that it was highly rated at one point, but then you see the drop off in his career. Yeah, there's not too many that you can think of. Crazy how that can happen. He was a perfect build of health before. Yeah, in terms of Edwin van der Sar, yep, hope he recovers fast. Definitely, indeed. Ed says, from what I've seen, I've liked him. It will shut up the modern day goalkeeper fans until he makes a mistake. Hey, they all make a mistake, Pax. They all do. Aaron Ramsdale, don't forget, he did it against Southampton, cost us that first goal there. There's been other games where Aaron Ramsdale's done it, but but what I will say to those fans is, Pax, he'll win you more games. He'll score you more goals than the mistakes that he makes, and not directly score you more goals, but create more attacks, the momentum on top. and prevent more from running off his line. Do you want to hear the best example, Pax? Right? Arsenal versus Liverpool. Arsenal away from home. Game's finally balanced at 2-2. Aaron Ramsdale makes a tremendous save. I'm not talking about Ramsdale here. Aaron Ramsdale makes a tremendous save. Arsenal go on the counter attack. Martinelli on that left wing tries to pick out Bukayo Saka. Plays it a little bit far ahead, but he can easily still get there. Alisson is off his line in a flash because he is a front foot goalkeeper. Gets out there, cuts it out. Saka can't even get a shot off on goal. That's the difference. If that is David De Gea in goal, I'm sorry, Saka gets a shot off. He gets a shot off. Simple as that. And if he gets a shot off in that position, you expect him to score. That's the difference when they're front foot off the line. You'll see it. Man United fans, the ones who are watching here, you're intelligent enough. When you'll watch him play, the difference that he'll make, because you watch your team week in, week out, and you'll see the massive difference. Big up yourself, Hanno, in the coach's corner too. Hope you're keeping good. Long time no see. Worth the deal. Nothing crazy money, but we have a tight budget. Getting him will be good, but next year we will need to address the area again. Tom Heaton can't be back up for me. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, that's something that you can kick that can down the road. You don't really need a top second choice goalkeeper nowadays. You just need a second choice goalkeeper that's similar to the style, and Tom Heaton isn't. So if you can get someone who is a progressive goalkeeper at the level below of Onana, you'll be fine. Second choice goalkeepers don't really tend to stay that long either, if they are of a good quality, if they're of a good caliber, because they'll be good enough to play first team football elsewhere. Onana. What's my name, says DB. Yeah, real player. Interested to hear your thoughts on Onana as well, and listen to Paxton right here. Remember to like and subscribe, peeps. On the road to 700 subscribers. Can we hit the 700 before the season starts? Big target. I'm gonna have to work hard at that if I'm gonna get there, but you guys are gonna have to play your part too. Big up yourself, really. Ed, your name in here as well. Hope Brush isn't. Big up yourself, guys. Red Devil Yannick in the building. Hope you're doing good and well. Nice to see you in here. Let me know your thoughts on Onana. Vibes in the building. Big up yourself. Even though booted Ed, I don't know what. I think I missed something in the chat. In the other group chat. Leader 2, underrated aspect of his character. Yeah, for sure. He's an experienced player. What is he? 27. Let's have a look into Andre Onana's age. He is, in fact, 27 years of age, been through the Barcelona Academy, was at Ajax, and then also at Inter Milan, now Manchester United. Hey, it's got a good CV. One thing that you'll say when we talk about his character, he has fallen out with current Cameroon gaffer in Rigobert Song, and he is currently retired from international as an international for Cameroon because of that, because of the issues not just him but many other players have had with the Cameroon FA2. Me and Roland and Rich and those and Realist as well, and those and CM, everyone who watched the African Cup of Nations would have seen in his performances there, and he suddenly got dropped straight away during at some point, and then missed his and then wasn't picked for the World Cup squad. So he is a character, and he's had a falling out, and he's strong as well, stays by his word. So I guess he is a leader as well, and that's what you need. That's what every team needs. If you can have a strong core of leaders, Man United, that's where their success was built upon. Having an Edwin van der Sar, hopefully he gets better soon, or goalkeeper like that, Edwin van der Sar, or a Schmeichel, Vidic, or a Stam, or a Ferdinand, or a Bruce, or a Pallister, and then you got your midfield, whether you got a Carrick, a Keane, Scholes, then you got your attackers and your root. That's the core, that's the real spine. You'll see players like Nani come and go, even Tevez and the likes of. But the core leaders remain the same, and he's a strong character, and people have questioned as well, saying, when he comes to Manchester United, it's going to be a different pressure. Brother, these guys played at some big clubs, Ajax has pressure to win every week. Inter Milan, there's pressure to win there. Man United, yes, bigger club than both of those, but this guy, does he look like he ever struggles with pressure? We've seen him do it in the Champions League, big games, for his nation. Don't bother him. Does not phase him at all. And he won't be told otherwise. Eric Ten Hag's already got that relationship built with him and trust right there. Goalkeeping at every level from park football to UCL. If they cause your defense to second guess, the team's defense is exponentially diminishing. 100%. 100%. You need to give your defense confidence. Whether when I was playing football at a low level, whenever anyone else has played football, whenever you hear a player, an outfield player praise their goalkeeper, it's because they give them confidence and they never have to question. One, they're always communicating, Onana does, and he's always aware and always positioned, and you got trust in him to do well. Whenever you watch Onana play, his teammates trust him. They're not in and around him ready to block off opponents because he's so good on the ball. His technical ability is out of this world from a goalkeeper. They've got so much trust in him. And if you can do that, it'll push. Yeah, it'll help the team. They know they've got a solid goalkeeper at the back who knows what he's doing. Even if he makes a mistake, he'll do it again. Ederson makes plenty of mistakes, guys. I've seen Ederson in that Champions League final kick it out for a throw-in, kick it straight to Lautaro Martinez. Do you think that stopped him? They kept a clean sheet in the end. Do you think it stopped him from doing what he wanted to do? Guys, we'll be bringing back watch-alongs this season. Don't you worry. I'm sure we'll be watching plenty of Manchester United games. We'll be watching their first game of the season as it is on a Monday night. And guys, even if Onana makes a mistake in that one, I'm going to say the same thing. God, I don't expect it to change. He'll carry on playing like that. Eric Ten Hag will encourage him to play like that because at the end of the day, he encouraged David De Gea to do that, who has nowhere near the ability to do the things what Onana can do with a ball at his feet. It's as simple as that. Is that your rating, or are you telling me to rate the signing out of 1 to 10? I'm saying okay, let's say 9 because you can never be really sure. You can never be 100% sure, but I am as close to 100% sure that this is going to be a top signing for United and really move you guys forward. 9 out of 10. Genuinely, I don't think I've ever, even my own Arsenal signings, which I've been really confident about. I don't think I've spoken about them with this much chest, in a sense. Ed says City, United, Arsenal, and Chelsea. For me, that's his top 4 prediction. We'll get into that. We'll get into Chelsea and my thoughts on them. Let's hear what you're saying. Big up my brother Chino in the building. What are you saying? He says, "Lol, yo, T, why am I not a mod here? Thought we was brothers." Yo, let me change that for you. Let me change that. Anyone else who wants to become a mod, do me a favor. Yeah, just ask me. Ask and I'll gladly oblige. No worries. No, don't be abusing your powers now, Chino. Okay, don't be abusing your powers. But yeah, let's dash you a moderating status in here. If anyone else wants one, if you're already not, let me know. Happy to make you one, as long as I know you, of course, and I've seen you about in the chat previously. If not, then we'll get to know each other. Romero as a backup for us was perfection. Yeah, it was brilliant under Jose Mourinho when he came in and had those performances in the Europa League and in the Carabao Cup that season where you won both of those trophies. Romero was outstanding. And arguably, Paxi, you're not going to like this. I think he was better than De Gea. Genuinely, I think he was better for you than what David De Gea has been in recent times. Yeah, in recent times. T, who do you think is going to make the top 4 next season? Just quickly, because I'll do a video on, of course, I'll definitely do a video on this in much depth. I'm saying, so Arsenal, City, Liverpool, United. Arsenal, City, Liverpool, United. But yeah, we'll get into that right there. Means he won't go AFCON, which is a plus in the league. I can't lie. Absolutely indeed. Yes, he won't go to AFCON. As a Man United fan, you got to be selfish and look at that and say, yes, that's a plus. Get him in here for sure. Tom Heaton in any important game worries me still. Absolutely. But that's really sitting the nail on the head. English player, just making up the numbers, the homegrown status. Paxton saying, hopefully we'll get the Japanese lad in. He will at least give me confidence. Yeah, someone who you're bringing in now is going to be much more stylistically suited. Hopefully not going to be an Alex Runnerson for you guys. I mean, as a rival, I want him to be an Alex Runnison. Yes. But yeah, nah, I'm not. He'll be a low risk signing because you don't want to pay that much money. And if he's not good, you can get rid of him. Just don't give him high wages like we did with Runnison. The best of the best goalkeepers cannot be flawless. There's no margin for error for a goalkeeper. They don't get a second chance like any other position. If the manager trusts them, they do. But it's all about what they can bring as a overall, as a package, isn't it? It is overall. If you're elite at one aspect and then not so great at the other, then you have no room for error in terms of what you're elite at. But I think he's a top goalkeeper in every facet and every way. I'm here, man, just listening, bro. Now, I love that. Indeed. Big up my brother Chino right here. He's probably loving all this United praise. I just had to hit like so I don't get a block when when I'm being a D head, he says. Big up. Can I be a mod? Of course you can, Shay. Definitely. Let me set that for you. Can mods actually make other people mods too? Can you do that, guys? Let me know. Can mods make other people mods? I'm trying to make you a mod, but this thing keeps getting in the way. Hold on, Shay. Let me go to another comment of yours. There it is. Yeah. I need to put you in timeout then. That would have been an accident. But yeah, mods as well. There you go, Shay. Loyal and respected. There you go, my brother. So let's go on into the next topic for Manchester United, which is to do with Atalanta striker, Danish international Rasmus Hojlund. So there was positive talks again today, according to Samuel Luckhurst. So they've been talking about the fee plus payment structure, and also included in that deal is Mason Greenwood going the other way on loan. We'll get into that in a second. But in terms of Rasmus Hojlund, there's me on the opposite end of the spectrum, bringing you guys back down to earth. I am not a huge fan of this signing with the money that it will cost to get Rasmus Hojlund in. 50 to 60 million is what they're speaking about. Earlier in the window, we was hearing 80, but I'm sure they'll come down on that. 50 to 60 million pounds to bring in Rasmus, maybe 80 million euros they're converting into. But yeah, in that region, it's a lot of money for someone who's had one season in Serie A, scored 9 goals, but there's really more to that. I wouldn't really be bothered if he scored 9 or 19 goals. I'm looking at his all-round game and how that can translate to the Premier League. Of course, you have to take in mind that he is still young, still developing, has good tools. He has the raw tools. He has the speed, physicality, in the size. He's got good movement. You can't. These are things I'm talking about. What you can't teach a striker. What he's got, which is good movement, speed, strength. He can hold players off as well. He can do so. He's got all of that, the physical attributes to be in the Premier League. But for me, the technical attributes are still lacking. When I said he's got the tools to hold players off, he can get his body in between. I've seen it on the odd occasion, but I've actually watched him a couple of times this season. The first time I saw him was AC Milan against Atalanta, and he was very underwhelming. I think this was off the back of he scored a couple of goals, and there was a lot of talk being around his name at this point. So me and Moss, I was on Moss's channel watching Rasmus Hojlund, and he's very underwhelmed. He was in that game. This is a one-off game, and then I watched him again, and he was much better. And I think he scored in this one. Oh no, he assisted. I think it was Sassuolo away. Yeah, he played a ball across the box with his right foot. He did really well. But overall in the game, left a lot to be desired. And with Manchester United and with that pressure and with that focus on that number 9 position, I still think that you need to be more refined. You need to have that technical ability more refined, that understanding and how to position your body. The physicality in the Premier League is like no other. Hear it whenever a new player comes into the Premier League, from Serie A, from the Portugal, from Premier Liga, from the La Liga, from Ligue 1, whatever you hear, The physicality is the biggest difference, and that's what he's going to have to cope with. Defenders coming right at his back paws, and then giving the positioning well. His touch has got to be secure, linking up with his teammates, first time layoffs, all of that. With his back to goal play, that still needs work. When he's facing the goal, he's got that natural instinct of a striker. So I still think he can score goals for Manchester United. That's not the question. But on a consistent basis, to be playing at the level, bringing players in and around him when they are coming up in those big games, he's still got things to learn for me. And yeah, I'm not a massive fan of this signing, but I'm looking at the market right now. In that price region, you're not going to get much better. You're really not. Yeah, the fees big. Personally, I would wait. I know it sounds crazy because it is such a necessity. Man United do need a striker. Martial's fitness can't be trusted anymore. It was the big gaping hole for them last season, and it was actually putting them in danger of losing that top 4 spot. And with Liverpool going to come back stronger, Chelsea are going to improve, whatever level maybe. A lot of people are saying Chelsea are going to improve massively and be in the top 4. Like Ed mentioned earlier, he's not the first person I've seen say that. Plenty of other people. But yeah, I feel like they're going to improve. Tottenham going to improve for me in terms of their style of football. What we'll see, Harry Kane will probably enjoy his football more at Tottenham. They're going to need someone to put that ball in the back of the net and finish in big games. When the games are a little bit tighter, you're not able to roll teams over. You're going to need your goal scorer there. He's got the instincts, but those are big questions, big question marks around Rasmus Hojlund. But for me, the real question and how he can develop, if he does develop into that, is his mentality. Always goes back to that, because you can have all the raw tools, you can have everything that you want, but if you haven't got the mentality to be a Manchester United striker, it's hard. No matter who you are, no matter what technical ability you have, you need that right there to develop the hunger, the confidence, the drive to do that. And I'm not questioning that, but we'll need to see. That's something that we can wait and see. So yeah, Rasmus Hojlund, positive talks right there. Mason Greenwood going the other way. Right, this is difficult. It is difficult to talk about because morally, as humans, Mason Greenwood, we know the situation. Disgusting. Yeah, he's not guilty because it never got taken to court. Charges were dropped, but we're not stupid. Everyone knows. But then at the end of the day, Man United are still there. It's contracted to them as an employer. What can you do? You're not guilty. You've not been taken to court. The evidence that was presented is admissible in court. What can they do legally? They actually can't actually do anything. They have to now treat him as if he's a player that's not guilty, and that's just come from that's tricky situation, like out of the limelight. It probably is the right thing, and this sounds crazy. It is the right thing they need to do. Get him out on loan. Let him build his career back up. Make a decision again the season after. Whether you want to keep him, you might have to send him out on loan again. Just let his contract expire outside of the club. Yeah, and the sad thing is with football. The sad thing is, and you've already seen it already. Opinions can change just like that, and a flick of the switch. If you start scoring goals for Atalanta and putting the ball in the back of the net, you'll be seeing more and more Manchester United fans calling for him to come back, looking forward to Greenwood coming back. There will be stronger people, like I know a lot of you guys here watching now, who would say, yes, I'm sticking with my morals. I'm morally stronger than that. I can't have Greenwood coming back in my club. I can't be supporting this guy for my club. And that's a decision that Manchester United are going to have to make. But for now, I think sending him out on loan is a right decision. As from an employer standpoint. From an employer standpoint, he's legally bonded to a contract to this guy. Morally, I don't think it's wrong not to send him out on loan. I think what will be wrong is to just let him come back and try and assimilate him. If the club start trying to post things on their Instagram, their if they start trying to post things on their Twitter, their social media, trying to slowly getting back into the thoughts and mind of Man United fans, that's a dangerous thing. You're putting them to the side right there. Let me hear what you guys are saying. Rasmus Hojlund and this Greenwood situation. Indeed. Let me see what you're saying now in the chat, guys. Big up, says T. Mange is in the place. Hope you're doing well, T. Big up. Pressure is on you for the new season. Make me a mod if possible. Definitely will make you a mod, my brother. And yeah, the pressure is on us indeed. Where are you? Where are you on the chat? There you are. So let me just make you a mod here, and then we'll move on into the next chat. Rasmus, if we are talking about fees, I don't know, man. We don't have that much of a budget for two costly strikers. We can't rely on Martial. It's more of a risk than I like. I'm with you there. Alternatives, I've seen Mediterranean. I'd be happy with that if I, from your guys' point of view. Not low risk signing, once again, comes in on a short-term basis. If he doesn't really work out like a Weghorst, I think he's better than a Weghorst as an all-round player and will score you more goals. But the ceiling's not great, not as good as what it is for Rasmus Hojlund, but the risk factor is a lot less because of the cost. And yeah, with experience, you've got more data, more knowledge to work with Erasmus Hojlund, with a Mediterranean, sorry. Rasmus Hojlund undeniably bears a striking resemblance to Erling Haaland. However, it is crucial to acknowledge that the true gem of the future lies in Ireland's own Evan Ferguson. DB, 100% agree. That is the player that I really want Arsenal to go and get next somehow. That's, what we've done with Declan Rice there, DB, this is the guy that I want Arsenal Football Club to get in the ear, start meeting the family, start, do Mikel Arteta, invite him to your house. Edu, get the barbecue cooking for Evan Ferguson. Whoever, get the pints and the goal. I'm doing stereotypes here, pints of Guinness, Ireland shouldn't really do that. It's bad. But yeah, Evan Ferguson, all the tools, everything we mentioned about with Rasmus Hojlund there, I think he is technically more refined and with a year's worth more experience in the Premier League. I mean, it just increases value for me. If you could get him now, I'd do it. I'd take that risk. He signed a new contract at Brighton, and I think for his development, it makes more sense to stay at Brighton and get more games. But as a selfish point of view, if I'm being selfish, Man United, go get him now. Arsenal, go get him now. But if you want to see a better player in the future, you need to let him develop and get a consistent set of minutes at Brighton and Hove Albion. The risk is a lot less because you're buying from within the league as well, guys. You're buying from someone he's had a season in the Premier League already. You've seen what he can do in 15 games. The only risk is you've not seen what he can do in a whole stretch of a season for a big club consistently. We've seen that transition with Graham Potter not quite work. With United, they're more of a, it sounds crazy to say, but they are more stable than Chelsea. So for any player, any manager, any coach going into that situation, they're bootery, leave my potential new striker alone. DBRC and Tyree thinks the same. That Kolo Moani guy feet is mad. I was seeing reports that after next season, once the season's done and he's partnered Kylian Mbappe, they're gonna want 150 to 160 million euros. Not for me. He's a machine in terms of scoring goals, and he's an end product machine. No doubt about that. When I talk about all-round game again, back to goal plays, not really the greatest, but in behind, a threat. Sort of like a Rashford for me. That's what Kolo Muani is like. He will score goals. He'll be a threat. Any team would have him for a decent price. I think he could go all the way right to the top for a decent price. We'll split opinion because he's not the easiest on the eye to watch. But he'll still score goals. He'll have end products. And he'll suit the likes of Rashford, Bruno, Mason Mount. Not so easy on the eye, but just good players overall, and managers will rate. It's top 5. If we move on Martial, we 200% need 2 strikers, yet we can't afford 2 high-end price ranges ultimately. You know what, Pax? I hear this year, but you spent 55 mil on Mason Mount. You're about to spend 45 to 50 mil on Andre Onana. That's 100 mil altogether. Minimum at least 100 mil that you spent on 2 players there. And you're also chasing a Rasmus Hojlund. Positive talks potentially could be spending up to 150 mil without sales being made. Potential takeover at the helm that could release more funds as they get rid of that debt the Glazers have put on you. Glazonomics as per usual. Still the uncertainty. But I think you might have more money than what the media is letting you on. I think this could genuinely be a ploy to try and lower the prices. We haven't got money. We haven't got money, and things are telling different. It's a bit like Liverpool fans, right? You know, in Liverpool fans have been saying, "Oh yeah, we can't get Bellingham. We can't afford him." Yeah. No. You can afford him. You just need to get players. You need to get more than Bellingham, and you can't afford to get other players of that caliber plus Bellingham, can you? Because you've just spent 100 million. Yeah, best part of 100 million on 2 players, and they've still got more to make. And I'm hearing 2 more midfielders. It's mad. Big up my brother CM in the building. Blessings to everyone inside T and the TTF Friday settings. Big up my brother CM each and every time. Get Greenwood gone for a year. If any further stuff comes out, one way or the other, good. If not, then sell him. I hear that. Number 11 needs to go. If he does, well, we'll sell him for a profit in the loan deal. I hear that. Cheers, T. No worries, my bro. The takeover takes a month to sort out. T. Glazonomics will always be in play. But the Glazers, if it's not their money and they're just doing as much as it's not exactly coming out of their pocket. It's coming out of Manchester United PLC or whatever that club. It'll also go into the final fee of paying for the Manchester United as the club from the Qataris. It won't really matter. It was like Mike Ashley when he started spending money, even though he full on knew he knew for a long time that he was selling to Saudi, but they were still spending money right there. Because remember that Saudi deal took like 2 years, but it was still didn't really care. It's not his money. He'll get it straight back anyway, and more from the sales. Hojlund potential is way too much for an unknown player. Puts unnecessary pressure on him. Absolutely, at a young age, let him develop for another year. But I think Erik ten Hag, but what we're hearing is a massive fan of him. Plus, selling players is hard for us with a broken wage structure. Absolutely, we're still struggling. Packs. Arsenal, we still can't get rid of Pepe, Cedric, the likes of there. So I hear that. Let's now move on. We got 2 more topics to definitely talk about, unless there is any more breaking news. But first of all, we'll talk about Chelsea, because Chelsea's they do hope to get the deal done for Moises Caicedo for 70 to 80 million pounds after Brighton were demanding 100 million pounds for the Ecuador international. Because of that Declan Rice fee. Arsenal ruined the market once again. You now, Chelsea, have a taste of your own medicine. But yeah, now for me, this highlights the lack of Champions League football and the poor decision making from Chelsea prior. And yes, there's a lot of talk coming from the Chelsea part of, look how much money we've now made on Kai Havertz. We've now made on Mason Mount. That Mason Mount was pure profit. Kai Havertz, we made they made a loss. They didn't make a profit on that, but we made that loss as small as we could. We've sold the likes of Edouard Mendy, Koulibaly. We've got their wages off the books, etc., etc. But the problem is right now is Chelsea still have a loss. It looks better on financial fair play. That financial fair play window has now closed. But it's about, with financial fair play, it's you can't have 3 consecutive seasons of a certain amount of loss. They're going to be going into their 3rd now. And Moises Caicedo, plus the wages, apparently personal terms are agreed, 8-year contract. That Moises Caicedo deal is harder for them to spend on the transfer fee to Brighton plus the wages. And this is what I'm telling you about the issues when you're not in the Champions League. And there's no guarantee of them getting straight back into it as well because of the competition in this league. Liverpool coming back, Man City, Arsenal, Manchester United. There's 4 positions taken right there. That's not even taken into consideration what Newcastle are building, adding in a Sandro Tonali, potentially a Federico Chiesa, and then also news breaking out today of Harvey Barnes going out there. That's going to significantly strengthen the Toon Army up there, and they were in their Champions League campaign. And with the money that they've got, could blow Chelsea out of the water financially. If they can build and maintain that and improve their financial fair play issues, take them 3 years, just like it will for us. But if the longer this gets drawn out, the less likely I believe this is going to happen, which is why Chelsea are serious about getting this done quickly. Serious about it. But yeah, really, it's the new Champions League format as well. Absolutely. But then there's 5 teams I mentioned that I could easily see finishing above Chelsea: Arsenal, City, Liverpool, United, and Newcastle. And that's taken out, when you look at Tottenham, already finished above Chelsea last season. Already did. Are Brighton going to kick on? Maybe not. People aren't going to look at that because of the losses that they've made. No, if they do lose a Caicedo and a McAllister, big players that were key to their success, missing out there. But there's no guarantee. So with that new Champions League format, if they're not getting in there, they're missing out on so much money, my brother, really. So I'm glad you raised that, because that made me think the money that they will potentially lose. The more games in the Champions League means more revenue. That's exactly the reason why they've done that. Adding more teams in there to get more games, more eyes, trying to take that money away from all from the Premier League pot, and try and give it more to the Real Madrid, the Barcelonas, to prevent them from making this European Super League. I've told you guys, European Super League's happening, whether it's under the name of the Champions League or under the name of the European Super League. It's happening either way. Deal with it. It's a huge thing right now for Chelsea. And Pochettino's come out in his interview, said today, we have to win from day one. Chelsea, you can't, from the first day, you have to be going right at it. They can't afford to slip up this season after a difficult season last, and this will really put the pressure on Todd Boehly. That's why they are reluctant to pay the £100 million pounds. Chelsea weren't reluctant to pay that whilst they were in the Champions League, whilst they were in a terrible position. They weren't reluctant to pay that for Enzo Fernandez, were they? They weren't reluctant to pay that for Mudryk. And you're talking about a player now that has played in the Premier League, that has been a South American sensation, who has been the hottest prospect coming out of, I'm talking the whole of South America for a long time. Man United fans, when you were first hearing of his name, you don't hear about his name like that if he is not a hot prospect. Those who are very closely tied, Tim Vickery spoke about it really well. This guy was being spoken about for years. When he was growing from the age of 15, they were chatting about him. I only heard of him when Man United were linked with him, but he chose to go to Brighton to further develop his career, so that as the best destination, using Brighton like a Borussia Dortmund, which is excellent, by the way. That's why their model is so amazing. And now he gets to choose if Brighton are willing to sell him for 80 mil. I think Chelsea get him. But the longer this holds out, the worse it is for Chelsea, and where more competition could suddenly prop up. Paxton, Man United start selling players, Arsenal start selling players, Manchester City get a little bit more desperate in the market. Guys, don't rule out Manchester City. They work in silence. They need a central midfielder now to replace Gundogan. Someone who can play in all 3 phases of the pitch, and that is Moises Caicedo. It's not as good in that final third as Ilkay Gundogan, of course, but someone who's elite in the first and middle third. Guys, as this gets drawn closer, towards the end, when more money gets expanded around because of sales, clubs have got their priorities. This is Chelsea's priority. If they don't get it through the line, Champions League clubs will come knocking for Moises Caicedo. And Chelsea are already, let's not forget, already trying to sort out their wage structure. That's the whole reason Mason Mount has gone to Man United, right? Isn't it? Surely. Because they're trying to sort out their wage structure. They weren't willing to offer what Mason Mount felt he was worth because they're trying to support their wage structure. Levi Colwill, they're adamant on keeping him. But if these clubs are keep knocking, they feel confident that they can get him. Interesting indeed. I think that they need to get that done quickly. Well, do I think Moises Caicedo will ultimately end up at Chelsea? Yes, I do. But ask me this in 2 weeks' time. In 2 weeks' time, ask me this question. If he's not already a Chelsea player in 2 weeks' time, I'll be open to change my answer. But I think this will get done in 2 weeks and the reason I say 2 weeks is because pre-season will be well underway by then, and we'll be entering. So in 2 weeks' time, we'll be a couple of weeks, 2 weeks away from the start of the season. Chelsea want this done as soon as possible. That's when players start moving about a little bit more. The mid-table clubs start trying to get their signings, getting their priorities. If they don't get their priorities, they move on to their alternatives, which tend to be the players that where our clubs are trying to get rid of. In that sense, it will be interesting to see. Keep an eye on this situation. Big up my brother, Rich in the building, says big up to you in the TTF. Hope you're keeping good and well, my bro. Go check out their channel, people. We got plenty of channels in here, actually. We got my brother Realist United over there. Go check him out. We had a great conversation talking about performances or profiles, talking about players over there. It was really a good, intriguing conversation. Big up my brother CM. Go check his channel out as well. 2 Man United fans, Crystal Palace Network over there, Rich in there, but they've got a whole team. You got JC, Nate. I'm not gonna feel like I'm missing someone out. Nicky, and then if I'm missing anyone out, shoot me down. But nah, big up people, big up everyone in the building. What else? The final thing that we're gonna be here talking about. Hey, hold on. Paxton, 10 viewers in here, only 6 likes. Come on, peeps. Come on, my people. I'm sure that's an 18 now. Nah. They've done their work. But the people, the final transfer, a bit of transfer news that we'll talk about, unless there is any that has broken through whilst we've been doing this show, is Kyle Walker going to Bayern Munich, because Bayern Munich are confident of landing Kyle Walker, according to Bild Sport in Germany. And the reason why I brought this up, of course, you go like, okay, Kyle Walker, he didn't really start for Manchester City a lot. It's not really major news. Decent signing for Bayern Munich because he's going to the Bundesliga. But will this impact Manchester City? I think this, alongside other transfers that could potentially happen at Manchester City, is a sign Manchester City are entering a season of transition. It's not just this transfer alone, if Kyle Walker leaves, but Kyle Walker considering to leave makes sense on an individual basis. We saw that Pep Guardiola earlier in the season said, I don't think Kyle Walker can play the system that I've now implemented, which is, John Stones playing in that hybrid role as a defender, a hybrid defender and midfielder, a Kanji being comfortable in covering in the center, in the right back position, in possession, in those areas, even playing at left back at times. Ake playing also in that left centre-back position, and then Ruben Dias in the middle. Where does Kyle Walker fit in there? Definitely can't do the John Stones role. That's quite a unique position where you'll only have maybe the best teams in the world will have one player that can do that at the most. Kyle Walker isn't that one. He's in the final stage of his career where he's going to try and get into that last Euros squad, and he's going to need to do that by playing consistent football. Bayern Munich are looking for a right back after they're not taking up their option to sign João Cancelo. It makes perfect sense for him to make that move in his career. But the reason why I'm mentioning about Manchester City as a whole, if we do see Bernardo Silva leave with Gundogan already gone, Kyle Walker potentially, Riyad Mahrez. Those are players that provide depth. Bernardo Silva provides depth in 2 areas, and that right wing position that's suddenly gone with Riyad Mahrez and Bernardo Silva leaving. But it's not just the depth that they bring; it's the experience and it's the trust that Pep Guardiola has in these players. Gundogan, part of the leadership group, club captain, gone. Crucial, always in the end of the season. How many times have we seen him do it already? Scoring big goals season upon season. In the season where Kevin De Bruyne was out injured for most of it, who stepped up? It was Ilkay Gundogan and Bernardo Silva in that central midfield. Ilkay Gundogan had his best goal scoring season. Was that the Centurions? I believe it was. I believe it was the Centurion season. And then you also have, Bernardo Silva losing that trust. You saw Pep Guardiola play him in so many big games. They're not players that grow on trees that are easily replaceable. They're not. That's why they're at Manchester City. That's why Man City have been the best team in the world this year. Who are they going to get? We'll have to wait and see. But whoever comes in, Pep, only Hojlund and Ruben Dias have come into a Pep Guardiola team and hit it straight away. Ederson as well. Rodri took a year. Grealish took a year. Mahrez took a bit of time as well. Calvin Phillips, maybe this will be his year. Well, guys, I do think this could definitely be a season of transition for Manchester City. A similar season of transition to when Liverpool won the league. Are we forgetting? Are we forgetting because COVID happened that year? Liverpool won the league by February. Are we forgetting that? Man City were nowhere near the title hunt. And what happened in that summer before? Vincent Kompany left. Vincent Kompany left. And that was a big loss for them. They didn't replace him. Next season, they brought in Ruben Dias. That's when they won the league. That's when they won their first of the 3 that they won in consecutive seasons. I'm definitely feeling it. I'm feeling a season of transition. A season of transition, not mean they're finishing out the tie of the top 4, but it just means that they're not going to win the league. That's a season transition for Man City. That's what United used to do when they were in transition. They weren't all there flirting with, finishing outside of the top 4. But no, Man United will challenge for leagues in their transition, just how I expect Manchester City to. But to win the league, I'm not as confident in them as doing it anymore. That's what I think Arsenal can. That's what I think Arsenal will at this moment in time. And I'm saying that, of course, with a lot of bias in there, of course. But I think Liverpool have a chance of winning the league. Definitely. This season's interesting. And I know I've got people in the chat, realists in here especially, telling me, oh, relax, man. With City in transition, that football pervert will sort it. Bring up that Liverpool seat. I know you're not going to want to hear it as a United fan, but Liverpool walked a league with City in transition. You can't lose that amount of players and then come back straight away. I don't think I've ever seen it. And I've not seen teams ever do what Man City do before. But let me see what you're saying in this one, guys. Am I talking madness? Let me know. Or I forgot. Yeah, but mad people, they call madmen sound like geniuses afterwards. You'll see. But let's see what you're saying, guys. Big up my brother Moss in here too. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're fine, my bro. He says, well, way behind, was going to start earlier, but Armory TV was on. And I'm wearing a Yankees cap, so ciao. Big up my brother Moss in the building. He's also doing the England versus Spain watch along too, so go and get them. So yeah, I will be checking out that game. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Smith Rowe plays. I'm sure it will start. Appreciate you, my bro. And Alex Scott, maybe. Well, I haven't seen about Alex Scott. I haven't seen about that transfer. Bayern taking Cancelo on loan. Now this is a short-term solution. Pep rebuilding. Will it work out? Question. Thank you, Pax, man. We're on the same line. We're on the same thinking. I like it. I like it. But I got my brother Bargav. It's been a while. What's good? What are you making of our kits this upcoming year? The home one, beautiful, gorgeous. My favorite one. The away one, get it out of here. Put it in the bin. I don't ever want to see us wear it. The third one, I like it. I'd copy it. But yeah. Definitely not the away one. Disgusting. Exactly. Moss said second. Ugh, first one brilliant, and the third one too is brilliant. Yeah. Kovacic and Vardio incoming. Vardio massively rate. Feel like a season transition might happen there though. Kovacic, good player. Good. Is he Gundogan? Absolutely not. No way. Let's have a look. It's the hope that kills you, says Realist. We don't care about the Rona League. Yes, big up myself, but brother in here says, yes, let's manifest their downfall. Hopefully, I see what he's doing. You're all thinking I'm manifesting it. I'm genuinely being serious. Genuinely being serious. City, I remember King, right? King, it was earlier on in the season before City changed their formation. He said, "Nah, City's defense, is not as good." I was like, "Nah, City will be fine. City will be fine in that sense." Then up to February, City were in trouble. Then Pep Guardiola did Pep Guardiola things. Maybe that's what Reelis is saying. Later on in the season, he'll sort it out. But a stronger Arsenal team, a stronger Liverpool team, don't give them a chance to sort it out. Do you know what I mean? And City were irresistible towards at the end of last season in the Premier League. How many points did they get? 89. Ooh. Does that win the league when Liverpool were there? I think Arsenal are going to get above 90 points now. I know it's mad. You might think I'm sounding mad now, but I genuinely, I'm saying it. Come back to this. I don't really remembers things. Really come back to. I just can't see City dropping off that much. Pep is just different. But I don't see him dropping off much at all. I still think they're going to challenge for a league. I still do. That's the level that they're at. Man United went through transitions with Alex Ferguson, and they were still challenging for leagues against City, against Chelsea. But the year that they took off, next year they come back, bang. Next season, the season after City, depending on the transfers that they make, obviously in this summer, well, they can be back with a bang, with more hunger. But don't you also feel that once you won a treble, that burning desire to win again, you lose it a bit. I don't know, mate. That one I'm not so convinced about me saying, but the transition thing, I do really believe losing those key figures in a changing room. Key figures. All I know is Wolves are currently going down with Luton and another. Your transfer window's looking great so far. Nathan Collins gone. Max Kilman looking like he's going. That's your two centre backs with Ruben Neves already gone. I'm not liking the look of this transfer window, Ed. I will be quite honest with you. Alex Scott has been someone linked with you guys, you and Spurs. It's not a Ruben Neves replacement. You've got a lot of kind of attacking-ish midfielders already. You need someone to put the ball in the back of the net. You need to replace those defenders, which defense was your strong point last season, and now you've weakened there significantly. Yeah, it's a bit of a worry for Wolves so far. I thought I was worried for Wolves last season, and yes, they ultimately survived. But Lopetegui will leave if he don't find it right, if he's not happy. They do need to get their replacements in ASAP. Pre-season's here now. Pre-season's here. Let's have a look what you're saying in the chat. How many Colts heroes have you had? I've not had any. You know what? I might have a wine after this. I might do. Enjoy Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. Enjoy it. It's too early, realistically, to know who's going to do what. There's so much summer signings left to make. Squads being built. Yeah, it's true. But you don't want a slow start to the season, do you? But I guess in the end, staying up, it don't really matter. No transfer to West Ham, TT, because Moises messed it all up. Who's not making a transfer? Oh, Harvey Barnes is that? Yes. Imagine if Dream Team had Vardio and Saliba, best combo ever. Maybe Colwill and Saliba would be the best combo ever. Levi Colwill. Another one, guys. What beautiful player! I know you guys. I've already got too many allegations about me with these light skinned footballers. Yeah, but now Levi Colwill's a different breed of a centre back, and yeah, England have got. He'll be the best centre back since Rio Ferdinand. Getting a Kanji, Ake stepping up and changing to basically 4 centre backs made the difference for City. Guess that's why Pep. Exactly. That's what made the difference. I think he can work those things out and he's very good at doing it. But if Arsenal didn't lose Saliba, I'm saying it again now, I think we get enough points to win the league. They win the Champions League still. But then, you know, everyone, you look at it a little bit differently, don't you? So there was other effects with them. Arsenal can't bottle the league and then Man City be so, amazing at the same time. I don't really think so, but that's a whole different discussion. Yeah. Yep, need predictions around August first week. Yeah, definitely. Okay, deep this. If they beat everyone outside the top 4 and get points off the top 4, the league goes to them. Yeah, but they don't always beat everyone outside the top 4, though, really. You know what I mean? They don't always do that. Do you know what? Tottenham get more points off of them. Usually, Tottenham know how to beat them. Brentford always put a decent game against them. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion at all. I still feel like it. Yeah, Pep feels it. CM says pause. But yes, guys, those are the big topics we spoke about today. Onana looking like he's going to move to Manchester United. After positive talks, says Fabrizio Romano. Final bid coming soon. That will change their team. Rasmus Hojlund, positive talks there too. So there's a lot of positive talking at Manchester United. And can I just say, this is a strong July. And I think Man United fans, you have to give the club some praise right now for how they're moving. Credit to Man United. I think this is a strong start into their pursuit of. I think you'll finish in the top 4 quite comfortably next season. I do think so. Yeah, I think you might even be closer. Yeah, to like second, third place, maybe second place. Then you'll even be to the like 5th position next season. So yeah, I think you'll do really well. Chelsea, Moises Caicedo, got to get this wrapped up now. Got to, otherwise it's going to be a problem in getting him once teams start make sales. Arsenal knocking, hopefully. I don't know. But yeah. And Manchester City selling Kyle Walker. Is this the beginning of their transition? If you're watching this afterwards, people, let me know your thoughts in the comments after. Please do. Let me know if I'm a madman. Really thinks I am. I know that. But now other people as well don't. And man thinks I'm a madman. He thinks I've had too much Colt zeros. But yeah, wait, I'll reveal my top 6 predictions. Wait till I reveal my top. I will wait until then. Don't you worry about that. CM says that's the great thing about the league as it continues to develop. The majority of sides become more competitive. Absolutely, CM, 100%. This is going to be fun to watch this season. It will do. You guys are going to improve massively. I seriously do believe that. City is still levels above most. So who will successfully catch up? Hey, levels above most. I hear you. 5 points. 5 points ahead of Arsenal, who are Europa League dumped. We got dumped in the Europa League by Sporting Lisbon. Do you know what I mean? I feel like the levels thing is a bit over exaggerated. I will say that, and it's not just from me. It's just a general opinion of wider fans. I don't think they are. I think structurally, if you mean it by that sense, CM, structurally they're levels, and their manager out of this world, ridiculous. But there are still things that I think there'll be chinks in their armor for next season, definitely. But guys, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Love to you all. Don't forget, smash that like button if you haven't done so already. Share this channel to your friends and family. It will be greatly appreciated as we're on the road to 700 subscribers. But guys, we'll be back again soon. Love to you all. I'm gonna wear out. Peace. Kind of messed that part up there. Let me say it again. And we're out. Peace.